Hey everybody, I hope you're doing great today. Wanted to do a quick review of Harold's pre-birth experience. I first found Harold at Forever Conscious Research. I don't really follow that channel anymore, um, but we're gonna play about half the video here. You can find the full video in the description below. Wanted to start by saying that there's a lot of talk about spirits being forced back into this realm versus we consented. This is an example of force, but there's a missing key, and that's authority. Um, giving your authority away. So, without further ado, we'll get started.
And I was just kind of floating around, just flying around, just feeling so good. And then I felt something like calling me over behind me, like turn around, fly over here. I was being beckoned. Somebody was talking to me telepathically. I turned around and I saw three beings, three of them. I saw, it was a womanly figure and two males standing next to her side by side.
Very common to hear this in pre-birth experiences and in near-death experiences where there's beings that are calling you over, trying to engage with you. There might be like one, two, three or so. He says that he was feeling so good, floating, flying around. There really wasn't any distrust. There really wasn't any criticism or skepticism of these beings at all. Basically, right from the get-go, there was trust. And we're going to see a little bit more of that as we move forward.
I couldn't really see their faces. But they were just wearing, I would want to say, white robes, and I couldn't see her face. It was like just light, but I could see her hair. She was a brunette. And they were telling me to come down. And instantly I knew what was happening. I knew that they were going to send me here.
All right, so he knew they were going to send him there. Very interesting how these individuals who have these experiences remember so much detail. It's just unbelievable. So once again, trust. Remember, he's in a state of well-being. There's really no like questioning anything. So very important. That kind of primes him for what's to come next.
I did not want to come at all. I did not want to be here. I was like, nope. I remember fighting it really bad. Like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I was flying around a little more. Just like, you know, when you're trying to tell your kid to go clean their room, and they're just like, they're trying to have fun before they go. That's what I was doing. I was like, no. I do not want to go to this place.
So very interesting. I was comparing it to being a kid, not wanting to clean their room. Like he's the kid in the situation. The entity, the being, is the parent. So he's giving them authority. Later on, he's going to say how much he loves these beings and that this was heaven. There is a God. So his belief was clearly not that he was his own authority.
And as I was doing that, I was kind of looking over to where I was going to go, Earth. And man, that was the first moment of fear that came over me. I was scared because I knew this place was going to be bad. I didn't want to be here, for sure. Compared to that, I didn't want to be here. And I was fighting it, and it got to the point where I was gonna go. I had no choice.
So he has no choice. He's already given up. He's given in. He's trusting. He's giving authorities to others. He knows it's going to be bad. So really just no chance here.
And they were letting me know that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay.
You know,
Yep.
just
Let's skip ahead a little bit.
And I did not want to go into that water because I knew what that meant. So they beckoned me over, and at this point, I was fighting it. I had no choice. I was being pulled into the water, and I got into the water, and I was petrified. I knew what was going to happen. They were going to send me down. I didn't want to go, and I kept asking them, please, if I'm going to go, can you please let me remember this place? I want to remember. I want to remember. And they kept reassuring me, and they allowed me to remember. They allowed me to remember this place.
So he ends up, he gets to remember, which is good. I guess not everybody gets to remember clearly. Very few. They're being very comforting. They're giving him what he wants. He's trusting. He's giving them their authority. Just plain and simple.
And as I got that confirmation that they were going to allow me to remember, I was okay with going.
Interesting. Once they gave him the confirmation that he was going to remember, he was okay with going. I don't know if this was too late at this time, but if I was in that situation and if I had the control, the authority, then in the very beginning, I would be doing that. I wouldn't be facing them. I wouldn't be trying to engage with them. Now, I want to make this clear. I have no idea, right? I have no idea. I don't know what the truth is, but clearly he didn't have any skepticism about things beyond this physical realm. It was like the physical realm sucks, but the astral realm, or what he calls heaven later on, that's heaven. He doesn't go into why he had to come back or anything like that. Like, you weren't a good person. So yeah, I watched the whole thing earlier and he doesn't get into that at all. He just remembers this part, which is interesting, but we'll continue.
And, as I was in that water, I know for a fact they gave me a choice as to what life I want to live. I could have been rich, famous, and had it really easy, but my memory of heaven would have been gone, basically. I had to live a more difficult life here to remember that place. That was the deal, and I wanted that deal because I wanted to remember. It was that important to me.
So they made a deal. I find it very interesting how very, very few seem to have that choice. I wonder what gave him that privilege. That is something definitely to think about. Like, there are many people who have difficult lives and they don't remember. I mean, I don't remember. I'm not saying that I've had a super difficult life like a lot of people. Certainly, I'm not rich, not even close. Very average. I wonder how many people would have picked to be rich and successful. I guess the love bombing, as some call it, I guess the good feelings, the well-being that he had, the experience, maybe the experience of lightness, it just wouldn't be worth coming back here and being rich in this weighted down meat suit. Crazy.
The short amount of time that I'd be here, that it's totally worth it to remember a place like this, because I have this understanding now, and it's priceless, because I know for a fact that when we pass on, there is an afterlife and there is a heaven, because I've been there, and I remember without a doubt in my mind, without a doubt. And man, those people that were standing by the water, the woman and the two beings that were speaking to me, the love that you feel for these people is, again, something that you cannot put into words.
So, he says the love that you feel for these people is something you cannot put into words. He's saying it like it was almost not his choice. It's like something was going on. They were doing something to him at some point in time between them calling him out telepathically and then to this point something happened where there's just this going along with it, giving them full authority and just this love for them that is more than anything you can imagine. It's just absolutely crazy.
You think you love your parents, you think you love your children if you have them, and it's nothing compared to the love that you feel when you're up there. At all. You cannot compare it. It's to the point where I actually miss them. I miss them very, very much. I think about them all the time. I think about this situation all the time. It's something that never leaves me. And I cannot wait to go back. I don't even, I don't know what my purpose here is on planet Earth, but I can't wait to go back. That's the only thing I can say.
It's like he was drugged when he was up there. It's like they were drugging him. He was heavily influenced, extreme mind control or something else. Just wonder, it's very interesting. Why wouldn't he be a little bit more open to a distrustful philosophy in his life now? He's gone through difficult times in his experience, and to still have this love and like this wanting to go back and engage with them again. It's just interesting. And a lot of people through religion, through other philosophies, will become mind controlled and think that there's a loving creator, there's a loving God. And I just don't think that's the case. Why would he be back here? He said this was a bad place, ugly, just a hell. And he's back. They sent him here. These wonderful beings that he has so much love for.
Say about that. So again, I got into the pool and I was scared. I was terrified because I remember looking at the place that I was gonna go to, Earth, and it is ugly. It was just, I remember it looking like a black bubbling mass of just pure evil, and I was petrified. I just knew this was gonna be tough. I knew this place was gonna be dark, and I knew this place needed work.
But there's like no questioning why he's back here. I mean, why did they send you here? And what's with this love and admiration for them? I mean, it's just, I just don't understand.
And I didn't want to go. Yet here I am.
Yeah, so he's back, and I really hope Harold has learned a lot of things in this realm now, and it's going to be a different situation, a different outcome for him, once his physical body is gone. So I really hope that for you, Harold. And yeah, I mean, if it was me, I don't know. I mean, this is just me, but I'd be like, something else might be going on here. I need to rethink things. Unless I was, for lack of a better way of saying it, mind controlled with religion or something like that. Like maybe when he was like 3 or 4 years old and younger, he had this intuition that this place is hell. And maybe he even like had a little bit of a sort of distaste for the entities. But as he grew up and as he got older, he was just thrown so many lies. And it's just changed his entire outlook. So I don't know, but I would just be like, something else is going on here. All right, we'll continue. Almost through, just going to go through about 30, 40 seconds or so.
But I got in the water. I chose my life. I chose my mom. I do know that. I chose the family I wanted. I chose the body.
I wonder if he was like, Mom, I chose you. I knew you were going to be my mom. And I wonder what she said. That's very interesting. I mean, I bet a lot of people don't believe anything he says, and it's really, really unfortunate. It's really sad, actually. That's really sad, but I mean, it's crazy.
Body, I chose how I wanted to look. I chose a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you get to choose before you come here. I don't know if we all chose these things. I really don't. But I remember choosing myself.
I don't think we all choose. Earlier, he said that, you know, he could have been rich, but lose his memory, or have his memory and have a tougher life. You know, what about those who don't have that memory and didn't get to choose and they have a tough life? It's just very interesting why he got that privilege.
Got in the water, and I remember being sucked down. At this point, I was gone. I remember being sucked down into this like tube.
And that's the end of it. And he's going to go into how he remembers when he was in the womb and everything. But yeah, that's it. So basically, the problem that I have is certain people saying that you're forced in here, and then they don't tell you that it's because you gave your authority away. I know, for instance, the Sanity Machine was saying that. He mentions you could be forced in here, you could be pulled in, but he doesn't allude to the fact that these individuals are giving their authority to these entities. They're trusting them. They're going along with it. Doesn't really point to that much. So I'm going to point to that. I'm going to say, in this case here, was he forced? Does it seem like he was forced? Yeah, yes. But was he kind of like, was it kind of wishy-washy? Like, was he, 100%, I'm sovereign, I'm the only authority over myself, you do not have authority over me? That's absolutely not what happened here. So this is not a situation where somebody was just forced in and they have no power whatsoever. He gave his power away. And then there's those who will say that we consent to it, which means give permission for something to happen or give assent to approval for approval. That's something that I don't think we would ever give consent to come to this place. But could you consent to a lie? Being lied or tricked? And you're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then it's like, nope, that's not what it is. I don't know how consent works in the astral realm. I'm not going to say I have all the answers. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I think we have authority. And I think that once you give your authority over to something else, it's over. That's it. So don't do that. All right. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate those who got through the entire video. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great night.